guys, I just been finding it a lot easier to record my videos in the evening, so I hope the lighting is good. I usually like natural sunlight, but I hope the lighting is still good and you guys can see me. But anyway, this video is about my guide dog Roxy, and I did a video about dog food and doggy treats, and I have a confession to make. One thing I've noticed, I have a food container that I keep her dry dog food, the type of food that was recommended from the blind school that she ate there, and obviously I just bought the exact same thing when we came home. Well, the food container scoop that came with it was extremely big, so I couldn't really tell how much I was feeding her, which was my fault. According to her weight and size and her height, she should be eating 3 cups total a day. So a cup and a half in the morning and a cup and a half in the evening. Well, this scoop that came with the food container, I thought it was a cup. To come figure out, when she came home from the school, she weighed 63 pounds, and we just got her weighed a couple of days ago, and she weighs 80 pounds. That's unacceptable. And I've been noticing while we were out on walks, with the weather being a lot hotter and the sun beaming, she's panting a lot and breathing really hard, just getting in the car, and not even walking really long distances. So that extra weight is just too much for her to carry and to be working. And with the service dog, if they have too much weight, if they're obese, that can really play on their hips, because with labs they can get hip dysplasia, their knees. So this is something extremely serious that I'm taking very, very seriously. So when I took that food scoop and I had my fiance actually measure it out, that one scoop itself was 2.5 cups. So if I was feeding her 2 scoops each feeding, so I was feeding her 2, 4, 6, 8, like almost 8 cups a day, which is crazy, and I did not even realize that. So the first thing, and plus she was getting a treat every evening. She's a lab, she loves food, so obviously she's going to eat whatever I give her. So what I highly recommend, anytime you go come home from school, if you buy a food container to hold the dog food in and it comes with a scoop, always have someone measure to see how big that scoop is, how many cups it is, so that way you're not mistakenly overfeeding your dog. So once I discovered that, one, I was horrified, but with her vet, this is not something that can't be reversed. She exercises a lot, because she guides me outside a lot on a daily. So we're going to continue her exercise, but we want to make sure her caloric intake matches her exercise, because I was feeding her 8 cups a day, and obviously no matter how much walking or running she does, that's just too much food if you add that over the week. So I went ahead and started feeding her a cup and a half a day. She is totally fine. She's not hungry. She's like, okay. And actually I could tell that her harness fits a lot better. Her harness is adjustable. You can make it bigger, smaller, and actually she was on the very last hole of her harness, so that's why I was like, why are you getting so much weight? Because I didn't understand. I thought I was only feeding her a cup and a half, and I really wasn't. But now her harness fits a lot better. She's not panting as much, her breathing is not as hard, she's getting into her rhythm, she's getting her little figure back, she's not just a big sausages. So yeah, it's not something to joke about, because with a service dog, I want her to be able to work as long as she possibly can, and this is my fault. I'm taking the accountability. And even with the doggy snacks, I'm saving that more for special occasions. Like, instead of giving her a treat each day, she gets one treat maybe at the end of the week, and I make sure whatever calories that treat is, I make sure she may get a little less food during breakfast or dinner, when depending on when I give her the treat. So I'm learning. This is the very first dog I ever had. This is the very first guide dog I ever had. So I'm learning. I'm stumbling and making sure that once I find something out that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm correcting it immediately, because I love Roxy to the core, and I do not want her to be obese because I can't see the food scoop to see how much the food scoop amount really is. So if you have a support person or a sighted person that can help you, before you use a food scoop, please, please, please have someone see how many cups it is and make sure it equates to how much your dog should eat a day. If not, I had them go to the dollar store and get a measuring cup that's a cup and a half. So I know when I put it in the dog food container, I know for sure it's just a cup and a half. It's nothing more, nothing less. So I don't have to worry about it. But I wanted to come on and just let you know that's one of the things that me and Roxy are working through. She's doing great. She's actually doing a lot better now. We've been on get, adjusting her food for a week now to the right portion control, and she's a rock star. She's doing completely fine, and I can tell that she's losing weight. So next week I will weigh her. I want her, she gained about 17 pounds, so I want her to lose that 17 pounds obviously and get back to the weight she was when she was at school at 63 pounds, because she's a little dog. She's not a big lab, she's a little lab. So I hope you guys have a good evening, and like I always say, be you, stay true, and be naturally seen. Bye.